What to do, folks? James Hicks here, Montell Allen. Wanted to start a little bit different today because today is a crazy day. All right, almost wasn't going to go live today because the craziness is happening in the world right now. We want to give some homage to the folks in Texas. Right, we lost 19 people today, 18 kids, one teacher.
Actually, it's actually 21. 21 now is a new count.
It's up 21. Okay.
21.
21 people aren't going home tonight, right? So this one's got me shook a little bit, right? We're gonna try to get through this. Shouts out to my partner who reached out to me today and said, don't let the devil win, and we're gonna continue to move forward, and we're gonna do this. But wanted to give homage, shout out to that, and let the parents and everyone know that's involved in Uvalde, Texas, that this is too much. We're going to talk about it over on the other side, but wanted to give that little moment of silence. All right. Oh, shit. Let's go. I do always love that intro that we've got though. So I mean that helps a little bit, man. Montell, talk to me, man. It's Tuesday, May 24th, 6:30 p.m. on the Pacific Standard Time. I'm not even gonna ask you how you're doing. It's just it's a day where we may not even go through any stories. Right? I want to just talk about what's happening in the world. I don't even, I don't even think it's the world because this type of stuff doesn't happen anywhere else, right? It's only happening in these United States of America, right? Where we as parents, I think this has me shook so much because we're both parents. Been there to drop our little second grade, third grade, fourth grade kid off, and never would imagine, right, that what you say the number is now 20 kids and 21 total people aren't going back home tonight.
Yeah.
What do you when I saw this story, man, I completely stopped, and I've been shook, like I said, ever since. Man, talk to me. You take over for a minute.
Yeah. I'm fed up. I'm horrified. I'm angry. And all the above emotions. I mean, we were talking a little bit offline. I'm having a hard time grasping what drives a young person to be so angry at the age of 18 to want to go out and murder, innocent children and adults. To have to want to go out to an elementary school and kill people. I'm having a hard time grasping that. We're seeing the end cause. That young man also, he lost his life, rightfully so, for doing that horrific crime. But I'm having a hard time, man, because it's coming over and over and over again. Why is hate so prevalent, and why is the ultimate is just to kill? I mean, we can point fingers at everything we want to point. We can point at entertainment, point at video games, point at music, point at movies. We can point at anything you want to, but at the bottom line, there's something going on in our country that's underlining that we're not grasping, we don't understand. But we keep having this same story over and over and over again. This is three mass shootings in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Starting with the incident in Buffalo with the black grocery store. Then we're going to go ahead and go to the Asian, the Asian church where he's trying to shoot. And now we come to this situation, a Latino community. And the funny part about it, I don't want to hear people say it's race thing. It's not a race thing because the person that did the Asian shooting was an Asian person.
Yeah.
The person that's done the shooting today was a Latino young man.
Yeah.
And there was a white person who did the black shooting in Buffalo, but it's not a race thing anymore. This is something that's going on in our society that I don't know if we're just missing it, or maybe I'm the ignorant one. I'm just missing it. I can't comprehend why we're driving to so much hate to just kill each other, and it's really mind-boggling, especially this one, because like you said, James, I'm a father first before anything. I'm a father and a provider to my kids before anything, and I can't imagine dropping my young babies off to school, and the fact that when I come to pick them up, they're no longer with us on this earth anymore.
Yeah. Right.
Due to some stupid, heinous act, man. I mean, they'd have to kill me myself. At that point. So I'm really, man. Like you said, I'm really, really shook, and I think Steve Kerr said it best in his pregame speech. What he was saying, that they warmed up early that morning, and since then, 18 young people have died. I don't want to talk about basketball. Basketball is not important at this point. I don't want to answer any basketball questions.
Yeah.
There's something more going on that we need to address. And he said he's fed up. When is our United States government going to do something about gun laws? And we're beyond just doing a background check and doing that, because that doesn't help. What we're currently doing doesn't work. So what do we do now? What's the answer now?
And unfortunately, we're not going to be able to find out what drove this young dude, right? Because he's now gone as well, right? So
I think more so now, what's unfortunately is the laws aren't going to change.
Yeah,
that's what's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Even though we have the senseless killing, the laws are not going to change, because it's to protect certain people's interests. Certain individual interests, this is what this is protecting. For them not to pass more stringent laws is protecting their interests and their pocketbooks more so than protecting the humanity of now U.S. citizens. Before it was okay when it happens overseas. We're not worried about that, but now it's happening in our backyard.
Yeah.
We don't even want to protect ourselves just for some other people that fat in their pockets.
Not isolated either, because it's happening on the East Coast. It's happening in the middle of the country. You can't get more middle than Texas, and it's happening on the West Coast. So you can't say it's a red thing. It's a blue thing. It's a green thing, or whatever the case may be. It's happening everywhere. And again, man, it's bugging me out though that again it's just a 19-year-old that went out there and just. The targets, right? Again, second graders, third graders, just
babies, man. Babies.
Why does that happen? Listen, folks, if y'all got anything y'all want to chime in, because again, we keeping it real, right? We gonna have these conversations. We gonna get into it. We got some other things that we may talk about, but just kind of as you were just saying, this is the most important thing right now that needs to be on people's.
To elaborate on it, what's funny, as big as a fan as we all are watching basketball and hockey right now, because they're in the midst of playoffs. To be honest, man, those really things aren't very important society-wise.
Yeah,
those are just entertainment. That's entertainment. You got to be real. We have to put things in perspective. Those are entertainment things. What we're doing is entertainment and bring it in perspective. The real thing is, those people are. You got to understand. Someone lost their 7-year-old, 8-year-old daughter and son today, and there's no coming back. And not only did they lose them, they lost them in a horrific way. There's no bringing back. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing that's going to bring a smile to that person's face. You know what I mean? To ease that pain, because this is crazy, man. This just doesn't make any sense. And like I said, I thought the thing that happened in Buffalo was horrific. Then we found out the guy was trying to, destroy the church, in California and shoot people in the California church. And now we have this young man that went out and killed other kids. He was a kid himself. They went and killed these kids. And the fact of the matter is, he had these weapons. The problem is, it's funny. Someone talking about, it's a mental health thing, right? We talk about mental health all the time. People have mental health issues that need to be addressed. But mental health didn't just start this decade or the last 10 years. Mental health has been around issues when we were around.
Right.
And I said, well,
can't keep sweeping it under the rug, right? You got to have these open dialogue, open conversations.
But what's the difference between then and now? Let's be honest. The difference between now and the accessibility to weapons. That is the difference.
Mm-hmm.
When we were growing up, Yeah, there was weapons that you could get them, but it was a lot harder to try to find someone that had a gun, more or less than anything else, to try to get a gun in someone's hands. Nowadays, it's as easy as clicking on the internet and ordering from another state because their laws aren't that stringent. Or it's as easy as going
That's true.
somewhere to go. Our
The,
accessibility of getting the gun, we have to go to the local street corner and find somebody that was really into that. And he would even, at least in my experience, even if that was the case, they would make sure they deterred us away from it. What you need that for? What you doing? You know, what you doing with all that?
yeah.
Though that middle ground is no longer there, and the accessibility is more and more because you can order it over the internet, or they get it from their parents and order it over the internet.
Listen,
You know,
you and I both live in California. We can go right over the border to another state to go pick up anything at will.
yep,
Fireworks, firecrackers, ammunition, weapons, and things of that nature. And listen, I don't care, folks that are going to watch this and listen to this. I don't care about your political.
nah,
I don't care about what you believe, who you believe. I don't care who you vote for. We just lost, and Laura, go hug that third grader that you got, right? We just lost second graders and third graders today for a senseless reason. Yeah, you know, you're right. We had the issue at the Asian church. We had the issue at the supermarket in New York. That hurt. All of those hurt too. But man, this one, I'm sorry, man. This one's got me tripping, and it's tough to get focused. I'd like to do
yeah,
more action than hashtags, to be honest with you as well. And I think what we're doing right now is doing more action than just hashtags. We're actually having a conversation because
yeah,
not enough people, I think, are having a real conversation about how to stop this from happening again.
yeah. Well, no one wants to. I mean, no one wants to hit nobody in the gut. What the reality of it is, the reality of it is, there's too much. Like I said, there's too much access to guns. You know, and I don't care about people saying there's violent in music and violent in TV. If you're a parent, you can control that. Parents can control that portion of it. And I'm talking about this is because this is a young man that did this killing. The problem is accessibility to
Yeah.
have firearms. Me and you both know there's a gun show every week in this country somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
We can find a gun.
Yeah.
Every week in this country. You can talk about, you know, it's funny because they'll focus on places like Chicago, where there's urban areas where there's a lot of shootings, a lot of violence where there's that. But these are happening in the rural areas, and that means they have accessibility to the same exact kind of guns that they're having, even more firepower because they're getting them through gun shows, they're getting them through internet, they're getting them through wherever they're getting them. And now that you double that with mental health, and you double that with hate,
Mm-hmm.
and you spill that with lack of knowledge of self and lack of knowledge of other people, and then you spew that into wherever you want to do, with entertainment being entertainment that kind of sparks some of these things in people's heads. Now we're getting the result of the gumbo, and the gumbos are these situations that's coming right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's unfortunate because, like I said, I have kids that still go to school. My babies still go to school. We still have to drop them off in the morning, and I can't imagine getting that phone call. I couldn't imagine even that happened in my schools. Just my kids to be able to witness that and be around it. And it's a damn shame. But
Imagine the protocol of that. So I want to take you there. And
yeah,
hey, brother Jim, yeah, we talked about Steve Kerr's words probably before you
yeah,
jumped on. So shouts out to that. I see your comment too about the game. I don't know. We might get into that. I don't know. But we're gonna talk about this right here. Imagine you getting that call that there's, or you getting the text, or you getting the Amber Alert or whatever, that something's going down at your child's school. Right? You go down to that school to do, even though they tell you not to go down there, right? You go down there because it's your baby, and you go out there and you stand behind those that caution tape while you see SWAT teams running. You hear crying, you hear running, and all this. They grab all these parents. I'm putting you in this room. I'm putting you in this room right now because you were in this room. They take you into the cafeteria, sit all the parents down that have kids at this school. They tell some parents, or they bring kids to certain parents. They tell some parents that your kid is over here, your kid is unfortunately hurt, kid's in the hospital, and where to go. There's 20 other parents still sitting in that cafeteria.
mm-hmm.
Think about that.
couldn't imagine,
What
man.
if you were
I
that
mean,
one of those 20 parents sitting in that cafeteria today because
I
your
would
baby
lose it.
wasn't going to be home?
I would lose it. I wouldn't be able to hold it together. I'll be 100% honest. I wouldn't be able to hold it together. I'd be angry at everybody that's in that room, and they would have to. I would be going to jail probably because I'm gonna fight everybody in the world because I'm just so angry. I'm not. I'm gonna be in mourning mode, but I'm gonna be angry. And you know, to be honest with you, put me in that state of mind that you put me in. I don't even know what I'll be angry about it, except that I'll be upset that my young one didn't come back to me.
Yeah. See that's where I've been. That's where and I don't know why, but I go to that extreme and I think and I put myself in that situation, and that's where I've been since I don't know for the last 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in that state of mind in that
Yeah.
room of one of those 20 or so parents who didn't get notified. Oh, you know what? Your baby's hurt. They're in the hospital. They're being looked at. They're being operated. Or you know what? They in the safe area over here. You don't get that tap. You get the other tap on your shoulder. All right.
Man, you know, it's funny. You said that because I was watching ABC News when it happened, and they interviewed one of the, I think it was the uncle and dad, and man, his comment it struck real hard because he said that you know, he wasn't getting answers from the police, he wasn't getting answers from the school, so he was calling the morgues.
Thanks, Laura.
He was calling the morgues, man, the mortuaries.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, 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 you know. I mean, can you imagine that, man? I mean, I can't imagine it. That's the thing. I can't fathom. I can't even imagine it. But he said he was calling the morgue to see if his baby had been dropped off.
Mm-hmm.
That's freaking insane to me, man. Like for real. Like we ain't do. I think people are not grasping it. We're not talking about adults.
You can't let this just brush over, right? You can't
No,
just let something like this happen. And my man Chief is here. Listen, appreciate you for jumping in, but he says his neighbor's daughter was shot in the Santa Fe shooting, so you know this is pulling at him as well. Shouts out to the newscasters that can go and do this every single day when the world is on fire and things like this are happening to the Walt Blitzers of the world and the Edie Lamberts, you know, the folks that can get out there and report on this all day without internalizing it. That's a strong-willed person because look, I'm 800 miles away from Uvalde, Texas, and it's affecting me this way.
Yeah, man, don't. I can't imagine being a police officer. Can't imagine being
first responders, police officers, and fire
first
department,
responders,
EMTs,
police responders, EMTs, the coroners people.
Man,
I can't imagine being any of those people that have to be involved. I can't imagine being a teacher that survived this horrific thing, going back to school. I mean, what do you do? Do you send your kid back to school at that point? You know, after experience something like this, the ones that survive. Are you a teacher? Did you go back there? I mean, what is our answer? Because let's get to some of the issues. What is our answer? Because we've had these school shootings. We had Columbine, which is the first one to kick it off. We've had several incidents since then, and now we have this. What is the answer to deter this situation? You know, it's not guards at the schools. It's not being in a rural area, taking your kid to school in a rural area because we see it happen there as well.
Yeah.
So what are our answers to detract situations from like this from happening? You know, and I don't get at this point, man.
Especially at an elementary school, right? You don't expect them to be fortified like unfortunately our high schools are, where they have on-premise police officers. And James Riley, appreciate you for being here, sir. You are in the education system, and we're starting out. We're talking about Texas, what's going on there, and that's most important. That's more important right now, and we can't not talk about it. Talk to us if you don't mind, brother, either in the comments or if you want to come on screen, let me know as well. You got to go work at school tomorrow, Mr. Riley, right? Just what's the conversation that you're going to have mentally, either with yourself or with your associates? But again, you think about it, like Montell, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but elementary schools are not fortified. They don't have fences. They don't have on-duty police officers. They don't have anything. You can just walk up from. I got a school right here next to my house. I can just walk into the office, into a classroom without being stopped, harassed, or nothing. There's no fencing. There's no nothing. I can walk onto the playground and be right there with all these kids, and no one will stop me as well. Are we getting to a point where now our second graders and third graders have to be in a prison all day to be safe? Do they have to be behind barbed wire? And
you're hitting the chord. But to be honest with you, if we don't change the gun laws, yes, absolutely yes, it's gonna have to be that way. Because the bottom line is they're not safe anymore. We gotta start calling a spade a spade. It's not safe anymore for our kids to even go out. First of all, not even go out in the street and play. And now it's not even stress enough for them to go to school, where we figure that it is a safe haven for our kids to at least be away for 6 hours to learn, be educated, become and socially and educationally be developed. So that's what school is supposed to be for. And the fact of the matter that we can't control these situations that are going on, or have no protocol of what's going on in all these situations, then yes, you're absolutely right. It's going to have to be that way until they figure this out, until they change these things.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a sad thing, because the childhood that we always talk about, that we know, our kids will never understand that. They will never know that. And now this next generation is coming up, the way it's becoming, they will never understand that. Their aptitude and understanding, these are violent situations. And the fact of the matter, we know about it. You become desensitized. You start to if this thing happens over and over and over again, it becomes normal. And I should say sensitized, but normalized, right? It becomes normalized. So think about it. You're a kid that's only 10 years old. How many shootings have you heard about every year since you've been 10 years old?
It's a damn shame, brother. It's a damn shame. Right.
It's sad, man.
And it's only in. Look, I've been around this globe. I got more stamps in my passport than a lot of folks. Right.
Yeah.
And it's not happening anywhere else. It's not
Nowhere
happening
else.
in Germany. It's not happening in Japan. It's not happening in Korea. It's not happening anywhere else except these United States of America. And why is that? Why is that the case? Why do we have people killing?
I can tell you why. Because me and you both, we've been over to Asia. We've been to Asia.
Yeah.
The gun laws are very strict over there. You can't walk around with a gun without being arrested or being incarcerated there. The gun laws are very strict there. We have this Second Amendment that we've taken the right to bear arms. It's went way too far. Went way too far. That was meant to protect yourself in crisis of times that we were having, not to go out and have it just to go shoot somebody. You know, we take that and we expand it. Think about it. How come that law has never been changed? How come that law has never been refined? You know what I mean? No one's ever refined it because they don't care. As long as the Rifle Association and all them keep making their money, as long as the people that are in political office keep getting their hands greased or wherever they want to, they don't have to pass laws to make it more strict for people to buy guns. There's no reason for the gun manufacturer to make enough guns for every man, woman, and children in the United States. Every man, woman, and child in the United States doesn't need a gun.
I was going back and forth between different news outlets, and I'm seeing some folks saying we should just arm more people so the good people can have guns to deter the bad people when something like this happens.
Pause right there, Jay. Pause right there. I think for myself, a good person. I'm not prepared to kill nobody.
Mm.
I don't want to kill no one. I don't want to kill anyone. I don't want to take anyone's life. So why do you want to give me more guns? Why do you want to give me a gun? I don't want to kill no one. Now, if I have to in order to protect my family, that's a whole different thing because now I'm in reactive mode. But the fact of the matter, to give more guns to people that don't want to kill no one, don't want to be a part of that, equip them with that. Why? Why don't you just do the other thing? Let's subtract instead of adding to. That makes no sense. And the person that said that are people that are probably advocate gun activists. I don't believe in that, man. I think the way you stop somebody from killing somebody, take away weapons for them to kill someone. You don't give the other man a weapon to kill him so you can defend each other to see who kills each other first, who gets to each other first. Mm-hmm. They think the threat of someone having a gun is going to stop somebody else from doing these things, which we know that's not true. If that's the case, we win every war. The threat of you having a gun doesn't stop me from having a gun. It just says if whoever attacks first, we're shooting back. We're reacting to it.
That's true.
The way you end that is you cut it off. No one has a gun. No one has a knife. What does it make an even fight? No one has a weapon, right? When we used to fight the square when we was young, all right, no weapons, everybody skip back. Y'all just go hand, y'all go fist to cuffs, right? You go hand to hand. That's an even fight. Nobody jump in, no weapons, you fight. That's even. That means that no one's gonna, the best you're gonna get hurt is maybe a bruise or something. That was an even fight. Now they're saying, hey, give him a gun, and now everybody lets us step back. That's gonna deter it. That's not, man. I don't think that's the answer. I think you need to stop. They need to have a gun control law. And I believe, like I said, that amendment, right to bear arms, is went way stretched beyond what it was supposed to originally be. And they use that as their crutch.
Yeah. Yeah. So, listen, if we lose fans, subscribers, followers, whatever, because of this conversation that we're having, so be it. If folks don't agree with anything that we're talking about, I'm sorry. That's just too bad. We talking about just something that's real right now. Okay. I keep refreshing the page. I'm hoping that the numbers don't go up. I keep looking over here, and I'm still seeing this. Law enforcement officials tell CNN 18 children, 1 adult are dead after the shooting in Uvalde. The 18-year-old suspect is deceased. Yeah, it's a sad day. And folks, listen, if you got somebody that's that age, both 18, right, and someone who's second grade, third grade, fourth grade, but man, if you don't go put your hands around them and tell them how much you love them, how much you care about them, because you almost wonder. And we started talking about this, what was going on? Were there signs with this young guy, with this young 18-year-old? What hindsight's 2020, Monday morning quarterback, all that, whatever. We can say what we want afterwards, but Matt, if there was something that somebody could have said, done, saw, intervened ahead of time.
I wish. But I got a question for our audience, James. Be honest with you, and for you too as well. I can't grasp it. I'm not understanding it. I don't know why. But what is driving individuals to hate me or someone else so much where you want to kill them? Just because of the difference of their physical appearance. Not because you don't know anything about them, because these people didn't know anyone at the venues that they did this stuff at. They don't know anything about those people, based on besides the outside of the skin, color of the skin, or some difference of melatonin, or maybe their beliefs because they're in a church. The root of the problem is what's driving you to hate me so much to kill me. Because I've been in situations, but I've never wanted to kill. I've been so mad at people. I don't want to kill. I may want to fight. I may want to be able to, wrestle around. I may just be so pissed off that I'm so angry. But I've never been driven to the point where I want to end someone's life, especially not in no kind of way. So my question is, that's the root of the problem. What is driving these people to want to kill? This is 2 young men. Remember, this is 2 young men. The boy in Buffalo was 17, 18 years old as well.
Yeah.
This is another 18-year-old. So what's driving these young people, very young, not very impressionable, very young people, to want to hate so much? And don't tell me just because they're 18, because I was 18 once too, and I wasn't that impressionable. If you was feeding me BS, I would say it's BS. So don't give me the fact that they were young. I want to know what's causing this, because there's something that's really causing some underlying that either I'm just so dumb that I don't understand, or so blind, and I want someone to educate me. I wish some. Please chime in. I don't know and I can't put my hand around why.
Yeah, and folks, and again, we having real conversations. David Kennedy, this is okay right here. Like I'm vibing what you're saying. I dislike when politics and news media sensationalize tragedies such as children. It was a code. You don't touch seniors or children. Period. Right. Again, this should not be happening. It just should not be happening, and something has to be done at these big political caucuses in Congress, House of Representatives, folks that actually have the pen to wield and actually have control and some power in terms of what happens amongst us citizens. We send them. It's y'all voting right now, right? It's voting time. I know y'all got
Yeah.
your ballots. We're voting for people, and hopefully you're not blindly just circling in the ovals. You're sending people to Washington. Appreciate you. Look at that right there. You're sending folks to office to represent you. You are their constituents. If they are not doing the right thing, if they are just sitting on their plush leather chairs and not representing and not protecting individuals,
But I mean,
children.
man, let's keep it honest, man. I mean, we're jaded on the. I'm jaded. I'm really being jaded on the political system. I mean, I am. I mean, we go over this every 4 years or every 2 years. Hey, there's going to be change. It's going to be this. It's going to be that. To very little or no results that affect us.
Yeah.
Except it affects our pocketbooks.
Hmm.
I haven't seen one thing what's affecting my community. What's changing my community? What's changing? What's going to affect my kids? I haven't seen nothing in the last since I've been voting. And I'm an old man. I'm 50 years old.
Hmm.
Since I've been voting, I haven't. What? Tell me what has changed. What has changed? What are they doing for us? And I want to keep believing in it. I do want to keep believing in it. But don't get mad at me when we protest. Don't get mad at when people are angry about no change. You can't. These things are happening because there's no changes. There's not been one gun law change. Just because you're gonna have me fill out some paperwork, if I'm willing to kill somebody, I'm willing to lie on some paperwork. Do you not get the ideology? If I'm willing to kill somebody, I'll lie on a piece of paper. Who cares?
David Kennedy
That
the
shit makes
third.
no sense to me.
David Kennedy. Montell and I were talking about exactly this before we went on air. You're not taking a hit. That's how we feel too, brother. Take care of home first. Take care of home.
Absolutely.
So you, I don't know. I don't know.
Like I said, man, I don't understand. They talk about we're gonna do this paperwork, we're gonna do background checks, we're gonna do all that. I've known people get guns. I mean, it's too accessible, easy to get guns. It just is. And like I said, man, I'm not getting. You talk about doing more paperwork, and most guns are obtained legally. Am I correct? If I'm not correct, if I'm not wrong, and the ones that are obtained legally are usually by somebody else. Someone takes that gun and then they do what they're killings. I hate to say the people that mean the right intent when they buy guns, that right needs to be taken away from them as well as to avoid all this bad that's happening. And I'm sorry, in this case, in this scenario, a few rotten apples ruins the whole bunch. It ruins the entire bunch. So I'm hoping not only that like we are discussing this, I'm hoping people in sports take a stance because they are influencers in our community and in our world of media. I'm hoping entertainers take another stand, and I hope that puts more pressure, even more so, on politicians because those entertainers and them they control dollars where dollars are spent because they're such influencers.
Yeah, it started. It started right with Coach Kerr's remarks earlier this evening. So and again, people listen to him, right? Because listen, he's a champion, he's a player, he's a champion coach, and he's got a big megaphone. So again, the fact that he at this press conference that I got on the screen right now said, this is enough. Uh, and again, this is why we're talking about. So here's okay. Anyway, here's the show, bringing it back to sports. We can't get numb to this because and someone like Steve Kerr is bringing it up. So again, there's the sports and the entertainment industry and influencers talking about this particular thing. I don't want to see no more
I'm tired of the moments of silence, man. He even said it. I'm sick of
I don't
moments
want
of
no more
silence.
hashtags.
I'm
I don't
tired of
want no
all. Yeah.
more. I don't want no more Texas Strongs. No, I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear that. In all due respect, I don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
I want. It's time for these. It's time for some action. It's
It's time for
time for
action.
some action. So
Yes, absolutely. And I think we've been crying for this action for so long. We've been crying. We have been as people that care in this community. We've been crying for so long, and politicians still haven't did anything. Just because, like I said, because it satisfies their political power and their pocketbooks. Now it's time to move on, man. We got to figure something else out. Something needs to change because gun manufacturers can't keep manufacturing guns. That's like me. That's like me being Lego, and I keep manufacturing Legos to keep choking babies. You know what happens if that's the case? You would be like, hey, you need to quit making them damn Legos. It's not that, hey, you need to make more Legos, get more baby Legos so they can all choke each other. No. You would say, hell no, you need to quit making Legos.
Yeah.
So why are we saying, hey, no, you keep to make more making guns? People that are for guns or nothing like that, like I said, I just don't understand. Exactly. He said no more hashtags, no more t-shirts, no more songs, no more etc., man, no more any of that. It's time to take action. And I hope people are as passionate and willing to protest about this same issues about gun laws that we are about BLM, that we are about Asian American, Asian Lives Matter, and so on and so on, because now this is a collective thing across our community about all of us. This, like I said, this is not a racial thing. This is something that's really out there. That the mental health issue is there. There's situations that are there, and the accessibility to guns and people that having gun control and new gun laws. And it can't be just like, hey, we're going to do more background checks. That is not working. That is not the answer. That's not the thing. You need a whole. I guarantee you, if some of these people, if all those people in this shooting, pray for them. If they were able to sue the gun manufacturer for wrongful death, because of this situation, I bet you'll get some action at that point.
Hey, folks, don't let this happen to you before you make some moves, make some action. All right, that's pretty blunt saying that, but right, don't let this come to your house before you tell somebody you more action, less hashtags, right? Where you actually do some voting, call somebody at your capital, at your congressman's office, something.
Yeah, man. It just needs something needs to change, man. And I can't say enough prayers for the people in Dallas. Yeah. In Texas. I can't say enough prayers for those families. Yeah. I can't imagine what those families are going through. And I encourage everyone that's watching to watch the news tonight. Please watch the news and watch them show those people and interview those people and see what happened and see where we're at. Because I'll claim it. We're in a state of emergency, man, with gun control. We are. We're in a state of emergency. Everybody, every time Dick and Harry can have a gun, and at any moment they can use it on anyone. There's no conduct or code to it. If they're upset about something, they can use it on anyone. Whether you're going grocery shopping, whether your kids are going to school, whether you're going to church. All three places where we think those are sanctuaries.
Get you in church. Come on, man.
Places where we think they're sanctuaries, right? Those are sanctuary places from violence. We would think there used to be sanctuary places from violence. It's not like that anymore.
Yeah.
Looking to getting the doctrine into bearing arms. Yeah. I mean, if anyone has an answer, man, or please, if I misquoted or I missaid anything or misrepresented anything, please put a comment out there. I don't know everything. I really don't. I just know what I'm passionate about.
We just having a conversation, right? We are mobilizing. We are doing our part, right? We are doing. I can't just walk up in Newsom's office, unannounced. So
exactly.
This is here Tuesday nights at 6:30. This is the platform, and it goes all across the planet. So we got folks all around listening and interjecting. So this is our action. Kier, good to see you, brother. Appreciate you for jumping in. The president needs to invoke an executive order regarding gun control. We know Congress has not and will not do anything to change the current laws.
I said that already.
That's an assumption that we have. And good Lord, I hope that this time, I don't know why this time is different, but maybe it's different because, again, it's second graders, third graders, fourth graders. Hopefully Congress actually get up and do something.
But James, the thing I'm saying, I don't think so, because we had an elementary shooting years ago that happened, I believe, in Massachusetts, where there was some kids that got the elementary school that was a shooting there. Yeah. I know that. Like I said, I pray for everybody that has senseless violence. I've had it in my family. My brother was killed to somebody that killed him. Yeah. I know what it feels like to be in that situation, and I understand all that. But still, I'm 50 years old. I do not see any change in it. There doesn't change power in that, and I don't know what's going to take. Maybe it takes for one of their kids to get shot. or be in that situation for them to make a change or change a vote. But unfortunately, it hasn't been that situation. And somebody needs to grow some balls in Congress and step up and say, we're going to make a change. We're going to do it. Hopefully Biden does. He's preaching on this change and we want to do this and do that. This is what I find it really hard to believe. We want to write a $40 billion check to Ukraine. God forbid those people, I know they're going to war and everything, but we ain't taking care of home at all first. We got shooters and mass things going here that we should take care of. That $40 billion can eliminate all that situation that's going on if we put it in, if we infuse it right now here in the United States the right way. Whether it be more policing, whatever you want to do, infuse that $40 billion here in the United States. Last time I checked, we got gas at $7. People can't afford it. They can't go anywhere. Why don't we infuse that $40 billion here in the United States? Take care of home first. And first thing we need to do is figure out a way to control guns. Because these people keep killing each other. And like I said, no sanctuary is sacred anymore. None. Church, school, shopping at the grocery store, none of it's safe anymore. So where's the change going to be? All the people that make these votes, these changes for these supposed changes that represent us, don't go to those places. And if they do, they're heavily guarded. Biden ain't going to grocery shopping. Biden don't pick up his kids from school. They don't even go to regular school if they were in elementary school. And they damn sure don't go to church. And if they do go to church, it's heavily guarded for him to get a photo op. Shit, just keep it real at some point, man. At some point, we got to say what it is. It's a spade, and they're not changing anything. And it's freaking frustrating. But like I said, I believe at the end of the day, and I believe it can happen, if people like Steve Kerr, like he said, steps up to the plate and puts his opinion out there on the line because people are going to follow him. Yeah. I think if other sports people put their thing on the line and say, you know what, enough is enough. I think of people, like I said, protest just as passionate as they were about BLM. I think things will start to at least see some flex or some movement in so-called change. But as of right now, man, I don't see it. Even though it's sad as an incident is, I don't see it. I just don't see them doing anything. It's a casualty of doing business, as they say.
Yeah, I'm normally an optimist. I'm normally I'm a hold though. I hear and I know, unfortunately, but I'm a hold. I'm a hold for 24 hours. Right. Again, I want calmer heads. I want some strategy sessions happening wherever. I'm hoping that there's some boots on the ground, literally and figuratively in Texas, putting their hands on these parents and these people that are grieving. And I'm hoping that somebody is going to do something to do something. I'm gonna hold my judgment for 24 hours and I'm gonna be optimistic. I'm gonna say, what, Steve Kerr kicked it off. He was the first one who had a microphone in front of him, who wasn't a political figure, who said, you know what, right now I know I got a game that I'm gonna play. We got a game plan. We can go ahead and do what we got to do. We up 3-0. We think we may close it out, but I don't want to talk about basketball right now. I want to talk about this. I want to talk about what's going on, and I want some motion happening. So I'm gonna hold on to that for a little bit, because before I heard that piece, I'm still pretty shook, but just. All right, man. Let me look at these comments coming in, because appreciate y'all for letting us all go through this process here. Anybody attacked at school should immediately know that is a death sentence. They changed. Let's see. Tony Davis saying they change lightly, then we regress back into the same place. That is a shame, right? Just 9 of 10 American citizens are in favor of stricter gun control. Congressmen need to have their terms limited. That's true. And the right people need to be put in place to affect change. James, you can hold, but don't hold your breath. We've seen this movie before, unfortunately. I'm a hold. I can hold for 24 hours. I'm no Michael Phelps, right? But I can hold my breath for a little.
No, I appreciate your optimism, James. To be honest with you, I do, because it needs to be a balance on both sides. Am I correct? It needs to be someone that is really reserved, like you being, and someone I believe angry like me as well.
Yeah.
To be able to have this conversation, to be able to express and talk what's going on. I just man, like you're being real reserved. I'm being more forward, right? I'm just tired, man. I'm tired of working, and then a Zoom comes across my email or comes across my little feed and says these scenarios are happening, these situations happen, and then watch the news, these scenarios are happening. And I'm all for sports figures and other people getting involved when it comes to political stances like this. Yeah. I really am. I'm all for it.
So LeBron, this is more than an athlete right here, LeBron.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But I'm saying if we kicking something off to get, because this is a story, this is about sports. Our show is usually about sports.
Yeah.
The other side of sports. I'm thinking if they're gonna take a stance, this is something really to take a stance about. This is the Colin Kaepernick stance on sports. If they're gonna do something, let's wear some shirts. Yeah. Let's do all those things.
Do something. Right.
The champion is to make some kind of change, man. And I as much as I'm tired, like Steve Kerr said, I'm tired of all these situations. I'm also tired of people holding their breath and not saying anything and speaking about it. I'm tired of these people not. Yeah, I'm tired of them not saying anything. When this is being said, when you have an opinion too, right or wrong. I mean, you can disagree with me. I'm very versed in having an argument with someone who disagrees with me to prove my point and listen and be able to be equipped to listen to their point. I think those conversations need to be had. Quit being so silent and being so cautious of what you say. Granted, we're in a cancel culture. I get it. But you got to be able to somehow express what you want to say in order to get it out, in order for us to come to some type of resolution.
Yeah.
And I think at this point, there needs to be some type of we need to have some understanding where there needs to be change. There needs to be the people that don't want to change need to have an understanding that there needs to be change. Me, as a person that says there needs to be change, I need to understand why you don't want to change.
Yeah.
I need to understand both sides.
Yeah.
So we can come to a common ground and hopefully something can shake. But as of right now, those 50 people, or let's say 150 people, are making decisions for all of us, and nothing's changed. We're, like you said, we're resulted right back where we're at. And now we're in situations like this where it's becoming more common. And these are babies, man. These are babies that died.
Yeah.
Straight babies.
So, hey, folks, so do this. I know I've mentioned it before. I know Montell's mentioned it as well, right? Kind of in his typical closing, but again, call somebody. I mean, just don't even text them. Right. If you got somebody's number and you can, I don't know, shouts out iPhone, right? Go ahead and FaceTime somebody. I don't care. Somebody you haven't reached out to in a little bit. Hit them up tonight. My guy reached out to me with not just a text message. He hit me up with a voice message, and I've locked that in. I will never delete that voice message from my dude tonight. That was right on time. I told him it was right on time. So, I mean, even something simple as that, just.
Man, everybody got what? Marco Polo? Is that what it's called? The Polo app? Or whatever, Marco Polo app?
Is that what the kids are using? Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know. Man,
Instagram or whatever, whatever you got.
Something, man. Holler, man. Just reach out. Reach out and touch somebody's hand. Let's try to make this world. I agree with you, James. I think these are another one of the times, man. You need to reach out to somebody you love. Yeah.
Honestly, man, you need to say you love them and you care about them, and I'm just looking out for you. I'm making a point, me personally, myself. I'm making a point every week to text some people just to check on them.
Yeah.
I mean, you can ask Kier's online. At least every couple of weeks, I call. I text him like, "Yo, you all right?
Yeah.
Good." I'm just checking in to make sure you're good.
Yeah.
I think that's important for people just to kind of do that, to realize, make sure everybody's all right, man, and check on somebody's state of mind, because listen, look. I think we forget, man. We got some short-term memory, man. Just a year ago, brother, we was locked in the house for 18 months.
Yes,
seems
sir.
like.
Yes, sir.
And we were going through all these things, and now we're going through a whole different crisis with COVID. We're going through a whole different climate crisis with all these different things going on. We're going through an economic, scattered all over the place. Some people can afford, some people can't. And now we're dealing with, anger issues, depression, and so on and so on. Everything's built up. Not that it's not an excuse for anybody to lash out, but the fact of the matter, people are going through some stuff.
Yeah.
People are going through some things, and I think those things. I think us as individuals, we just need to check on them. Just see if they're okay. I would like to think that 18-year-old man that did this today, if someone was to check on him to make sure he was all right and checked on him constantly, maybe this wouldn't have happened. Maybe this wouldn't happen. So I don't know. What was that? I didn't see that comment. What was that comment? You just said, show James?
Yeah, they was saying he has family through Texas, from El Paso, San Antonio, right, and they're in education as well. So right, I mean, just he's
Man,
touched by this
I
as
pray for
well.
your family, David. Yeah, I
Yeah,
pray for your family, and I hope they're okay. And I hope they, I hope they can teach tomorrow and talk to their kids tomorrow. That's gonna be crazy.
yeah,
It's gonna be
That's
crazy.
that's gonna be tough. Kiers is chiming in. I know he doing okay because listen, the man is posting pictures every other day, and he in there getting his fitness on. So listen, I know Kier is doing good, but that's good, right? I mean, you gotta reach out to your folks, and you gotta check on everybody, so and make sure everybody's all right. We're gonna continue to move on here with some other things, but I'm gonna do one last update. And it's unfortunate, but yeah, folks, check your local news and listen to it, radio, TV, or whatever. The suspect was wearing body armor and crashed his car before entering the school. 21 killed in shooting at the Texas elementary school. So that's the current number. Starting to unfold again in terms of what happened before, but this is just not good. So
Where they getting body armor from, brother man? I mean, where these brothers buying body armor? I guess the same place you buying guns from, right? You get body armor. And is that what? That the new thing? Oh man, that just seems so. That's the part that I don't get to. Before we go on next door, if you're so mentally distraught or have mental issues, but you're able enough to plan enough not only to grab a gun and get a gun, but to order and purchase body armor to do this thing. Now this is an 18-year-old man, shows the one in Buffalo. Where is the parents when this is being delivered to the house via Amazon?
You're right, man. Right. Somebody's got to.
I'm gonna tell you right now. If a box come in my house full of body armor, I bet you I know about it. I bet you I know about it.
Listen, my son, when he was 14 or 15 years old, wanted a airsoft gun on Amazon. Couldn't buy it. Right. It needed parental knowledge. Right. I would have had to buy it for him. So that's just the airsoft gun. We talking body armor. We talking, bullets. What I don't know. I mean, that's all going to flesh out in this particular situation.
But check this out. But Jay, check this out. Check this out. Yeah. Let's say you didn't buy it from online. You bought it from a store, right? You bought it from a store. These young men are 18. They bought it from a store. Yeah. Me, I'm telling you. You know what needs to happen? The person that sold it to him needs to go to jail.
needs to be talked to for sure. Yeah.
Because if you came to my store, James, you say, hey man, look, I want to buy a 45. I want to buy a rifle, and give me that bulletproof vest. I'm like, what the hell are you about to do? You ain't a police officer. That's a red
right there, right? Anybody coming in, right, looking for body armor, suspect.
Yeah, that should right there should be a red flag. I'll report you directly to the police. Hey, this dude just came to my shop, or this guy went online and ordered body armor and ordered some guns. Me and you are in the technology world, our real jobs, our 9-to-5s of technology world.
I can find anything out about you in 10 minutes.
They can track everything that's doing. So you mean to tell me, let's go to another route. So you mean to tell me you can't track nobody that's purchasing body armor or nobody's purchasing a gun? Yeah. Unless you get it off the black market, that's the only way you're going to be able to get it, which me and you both know. I'm pretty technical savvy. I don't even know how to get to the black market, so there must be something on out there, but it has to be delivered. So if a mailman delivers it, you got to be able to issue a report to the police. If you purchase it to somebody, that needs a report to the police. If you order it, that needs a report to the police. All those are red flags. They need to go and see what's going on with this person and figure out what the deal is. And I'm saying we as a society, we have the capability and technology to do that, but none of this is being done just because of those laws. Now we're going to the privacy laws or whatever. I mean, man, I'm just frustrated. I'm not. Nothing is equating or coming together or connecting in these kind of scenarios to me.
Yeah, you're right, and you're right, Tony. I believe, and I don't know Texas law. In California, you have to be, but again, this person was in Texas, and who knows? Again, maybe that'll all flesh out eventually of what those age requirements are. Find out if somebody else bought it for them. The guns, the body armor, the different type of bullets, right? You can't buy certain bullets at a unless you're a certain age as well. So I mean, it's just all those kind of things, man. It's just there's nothing positive about this at all. This is all sad. This is all pathetic, really, and this is all frustrating, to be honest with you as well. Legal age to purchase is 18, Tony, but got to be 21 to buy alcohol. Man,
Yep.
that come on. All right, that's backwards right there. That's backwards right there. I can't go buy a Coors Light until I'm 21, 22 years old, but I can go to Walmart and pick up some Hollow Points.
Exactly.
Right there.
Yeah.
Just had a little dude go and get the key, unlock it. How many bullets you need? Oh, you can only buy one case. All right, I just need one case.
That's all I need. Yeah, give me one case. I can buy another one next week. And so on and so on. So I don't know, man. We just in a state of emergency, man. Like I said before, if people don't want to believe that, I think we are. Like I said, even our safe sanctuaries are now being violated by gun violence, which is unfortunate.
If you are that such a person, send some prayers up. If you are not, have a moment of silence. If you care about anything, do something. All right, I think that covers everybody. Religious folks, get on your knees and say a little prayer. Non-religious folks, I don't know. Yeah, we all know what we got to do. We all know what we got to do. All right. Where we at, man? Now we did talking about the social. Talking about the social impact, and you know what? A lot of even stories in the sports world this week weren't that great. There's a lot of frustration in the sports world or involving people in sports. There was one decent story that came. Excuse me. See, I'm 95% now from COVID, so I'm getting over the hump. There's one decent story, and I hold that one until the end. This one was crazy as well. I saw today, brother, and violence, hostility, for no reason.
Oh yeah.
For no reason. So think about this, right? You at the airport, you're checking in your luggage, you're trying to get on the plane. United, friendly skies. In United, the friendly skies, but ex-NFL player who now plays for the CFL was up in Newark. Mr. Brendan Langley, cornerback, got assaulted pretty much by this United Airlines worker. And then he ended up having to put them hands on him himself. I'll play the video. Well, I don't care about the monetization. Look, this is more important. But had a little situation with the agent right there, and they both pushing and shoving and swinging. Next thing you know, right, he keeps squaring up with him. I don't know if you guys see it enough, but the United agent, and then right there puts his hands on him. So
boom,
that's what he has to do in terms of protecting himself. And I'm saying again that Brendan Langley protected himself because that employee actually got fired.
Yep.
For what he did. Brendan got talked to and then was released. He got talked to about what the situation was, how it started, why it started, and apparently again it was about some luggage that he was trying to check in. That's what happened. But come on now, so what's driving people? Someone who's again,
hey man, you know what? Hey, is this dude this worker?
See right there, Brendan's actually vocalizing, saying, "Hey, this guy is crazy. This guy is attacking me," and he's telling folks all around him, "Said, man, you can't. I can't let this be happening, and I got to protect myself."
Hey, listen to me. This dude and the guy Mike Tyson here both deserve ass whoopings. They both deserve ass whoopings. He got his ass whooped for putting his hands on that man for no reason, and the guy on the plane with Mike Tyson deserved to get his ass whooped for throwing water at Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
So some people just, hey man, they I don't know why this worker wanted to try to punch him or whatever he was trying to do to him because of a bag, and then he got knocked silly, and that's his fault, man. I don't feel any empathy for him or sympathy for him. Look, man, handle it in a professional way. You're supposed to be in a professional setting. Handle it in a professional way with the man's bag or whatnot, and then keep him pushing. this dude felt that he had to say something crazy to this dude. And I heard the vocal part. I watched this video before we went on. I watched it. The dude, the football player, he wasn't really saying nothing crazy. He was like, yo, trying to check his bag in, and then you can't really hear anything, and then the dude comes out and swings on him.
Yeah. Comes out and pushes him first, gets all in his face, and physically confrontation with him.
Yeah.
And then we can watch it again, but the United worker made first contact.
But what you notice though, airport security didn't even arrest the guy for punching. So the story was what it was, and people were saying that the guy, the worker, was bad because at the end, I don't know if it catches all the way in. The airport security comes in, breaks them up. They're talking to the CFL player. No arrest, no nothing happened. Yeah. So I'm assuming that what was on the video was actually happened. That airport worker assaulted him. He defended himself, and that airport worker caught the worst end of it. Yeah. Unfortunately, now not only did he get beat up, he lost his job. So, hey man, you're responsible for your actions. I'm a person. I believe in second chance, but at some point you got to be responsible and take accountability for what you do. This guy's he got to take accountability. He got a lump and a pink slip. So it is what it is.
It's sad. It's unfortunate. It doesn't make any sense over some. I think Are we gonna be in that airport in the next couple of months? I don't know because
I'll be there. I'm gonna be there in a couple of weeks. Actually, I gotta go out there. So yeah.
All right, man. Listen, this is insane, folks. Again, these are the things that are happening. He says that's it. Yeah, Brendan was using a wheelchair to move his luggage, and the airline employee took issue with that. That's right. But come on.
Yeah, they didn't want to fight nobody. That's just tell them, please don't do it again. It's that simple. It is.
Friendly skies. All right. Let's see what else we got, man. I'm discombobulated. Don't have my stories right. You had an interesting poll that you positioned about our favorite topic.
Baseball, man. About the situation that happened with the guy that got suspended from the Yankees.
Okay. So now I've got that one as well about the Tim Anderson and the Josh Donaldson story.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so folks, this is an interesting story as well, folks. We want you to chime in. I'm gonna let you lead the discussion on this because this is insane too.
Okay, so what my understanding of what happened, and I'm not a baseball fan, so I don't follow baseball to the core. So, but what happened is that Josh Danielson and I forgot his name. What's the other player? I can't see your article. Anyway,
Tim Anderson.
Okay, so Josh Anderson kept going by him and telling Tim Anderson, "You're not no Jack," as in Jackie Robinson, because Tim Anderson had an article saying that he was going to be the next Jackie Robinson, or to some allusion to that.
Yeah.
Mind you, these guys have a relationship. They've known each other for years, and going back and forth. Josh Anderson is in the heat of competition, telling them, you ain't no Jackie Robinson, you're not this, you're not that. And Major League Baseball infuses itself and fines Donaldson and suspends him for one game because of those comments. We too sensitive. I'm sorry. Mr. Anderson, you wrong. I think that's wrong, 100% wrong, all the way. And the fact that Josh Anderson is getting suspended for that is wrong by Major League Baseball. This is another epic fail by Major League Baseball, by the way, and I'm very critical of them. But this is another epic fail for them, trying to figure out something to try to come to some conclusion about saying, hey, he was wrong by calling him that, and that it was racial. I don't think it was racial motivated in any kind of way. I think it was something, he mentioned what he said in the article, and now he was like, yo, you ain't no Jackie Robinson because we over here peeing your butt while you on the mound and doing our thing against you. And now, Mr. Anderson flamed it up and they got into a discussion.
Yeah.
But
that's what I got on the screen for y'all to see right there, the little confrontation, the brush up that happened. And then,
but I think the discussion part and this altercation on the field, that's the heat of altercation. That's being competitive.
Yeah.
Jawing at each other and just kind of getting a little out of hand. No reason for whatever reason should Major League Baseball step in and suspend the man for making that kind of comment. And it would be different if he made a derogatory comment. If he said like the N-word or something like that. He just said, you're not no Jackie. And that's what he said, you're not no Jackie. That I'm not offended by that. And why would he be offended by that if you're in the spirit of competition? That's like saying, you ain't no Mayweather. If someone boxing somebody, you ain't no Mayweather. You ain't going 50-0 when I'm peppering you. It's the
Yeah,
same thing, man. It ain't got.
yeah.
This is going way too far, and I think Major League Baseball needs to back up off and rescind that man's suspension. I think it's just foul, man. They just wrong, And then I watched that same thing with Stephen A. Smith and other gentlemen discussing it, and other gentlemen were saying, you have the right to defend yourself if you don't want to be called something. I get that all. I do. You do have the right to be all that, but I'm saying in the heat of sports, which me and you know, and especially a competitive environment at the professional level, there's jawing going on all the time. And I'm sure Mr. Anderson has been called a lot worse than Jackie and never responded. Now all of a sudden, because he called you Jackie, you want to respond. And now you're going to say it's a racial issue. I'm not buying it, bro. I'm not buying it at all.
And the
not
reason
on this one. Though.
Yeah, the reason I tend to agree with you on this because again, as you stated, it's gone back to 2019 when there was a conversation, there was an interview or a commercial or something that the two were involved in, and it was no controversy, no nothing. Right, Josh Danielson actually considers himself the Jackie Robinson because he's bringing back. He feels like he's the Jackie Robinson of baseball today. So he actually identified himself as that.
Yeah,
I've been called worse. We've been called worse.
Yeah, and I never. Like Kip said, that's not a racial comment. I'm saying you're not that person.
They play baseball. They're too sensitive. The baseball players too sensitive.
Yeah, man. Come on, dog. I mean, you can say a lot. It can be a lot.
My sport is just not shining right now. My sport is not. It's not a good look. You're right. I think this is not good. My mom said these people need Jesus. Lord have mercy. That's true. This is. But you almost wonder though. You almost wonder if baseball had to do something.
Really?
Was the suspension the right thing, or was just a statement, a slap on the right?
For what though? Tell me why.
I don't because of the. I don't know. I'm reaching for stuff right now. I'm reaching. I'm looking at this.
You ain't no Stephen A. Smith on the podcast. You ain't no Stephen A. Smith. Is that right?
I'm reaching for this, and yeah, I think Tony got it, man. Yeah, there's just too sensitive with some.
Yeah, they way too sensitive, man.
I can't justify it. I'm just pretending to myself. I can't justify it. I wish somebody would call me Jackie, bro. Listen, all the jerseys I got in this house are number 42. I wish somebody would.
Yeah, I mean. That just to me that's just being super sensitive. You're reaching for something, man, that ain't there. And I don't know if baseball feel they need to do something just to kind of step in to make themselves, like I always tell you, relevant because baseball is not relevant right now. It's not irrelevant. That's behind baseball, basketball, and hockey's on the forefront. Yeah. They need to just do something to say something to kind of bring themselves to the forefront. And Kim Anderson is just out of Brother Ben is just sensitive. I mean, if I was ever gonna be a fan of his, it's not now.
Yeah.
Brother man,
you're not gonna get his jersey, huh?
Yeah, he said that's a racial. I ain't got too much to say to the brother, man. That's crazy.
That's insane. That's crazy. So brought that up, Mom. I don't know if you late, but yeah, we spent probably the first 45 minutes talking about Texas. So watch the replay if you want to see how Montell and I got into it. No, you forgot to. No, we didn't talk ball until the last 10 minutes. We got into some real things at the beginning of this show. All right, now let me get into that poll that you positioned to me because I thought that was kind of interesting. Let me look at this here. Mm-hmm. So this is for the audience as well. If a student athlete is making 150% over the cost to attend and house them at the university with his or her NIL deal, should they have to pay school tuition? If a student athlete is making 150% over the cost to attend and house them at the university with his or her NIL deal, should they have to pay school tuition?
And Kira, I definitely want you to chime in on this one because you're close to it as well. And the reason why I said that, if they're making 150, that means they're making. If a school costs $100,000, that means their NIL deal is worth $150,000. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Should they have to be able to pay tuition? I I mean, I know they make money for the school. That's right. You work for them and all that, but the school is also putting you in that position to make money. Am I correct? Right or wrong? I believe I'm right. So should they have to pay tuition like every other student since they're making well over it? Because remember, me and you, when we doing financial aid packages or FAFSA, they take into consideration our salary. Well, now this young man's making 150% more over there. Shouldn't he just be responsible to pay his own tuition? And that scholarship can go to somebody else.
Okay, because I was going to ask about this caveat right here, right? Because again, if they got this scholarship, what's that caveat right there? If they're getting an academic scholarship or whatever the case, or athletic scholarship as well, right? Since they're
yeah. Secure says no. He says they shouldn't have to pay scholarship money.
Yeah,
I'm on the fair end. Well, I don't know. To me, honestly, I'm on both sides of the fence. One minute I say yes, one minute I say no, and I can tell you why I'm on both sides of the fence.
Okay.
I say no at some points because I'm like, wow, they're representing the school. They're making the school millions and billions of dollars. Especially these guys at Georgia and all these big schools. But then on the other hand, I'm like, well, let's think about the students. The students have to pay these increasing tuition costs all the time. The platform that the college is providing for them is allowing them to make this kind of money. So why should they have to pay bills like everybody else? You know what I mean? They're still making more money than they ever made before. And it has to be a certain threshold. You have to be 150. So they have to make enough to not only cover tuition, but also be able to make significant enough money over what they're being paid to be able to attend school and do the things to still have a livelihood. Because, some of these guys are getting $700,000 deals at the collegiate level. Why shouldn't you have to pay a $40,000 college cost? I mean, that's peanuts at that point. So I'm teetering on the fix why this should go both ways. But I'm kind of leaning towards maybe they should have to pay tuition or pay some portion of tuition instead of it being a full ride and be able to give that scholarship to someone else.
Yeah.
Put that money back into the athlete department so they can give it to somebody else and see how it all works out. And I think that would be more than fair, especially with the NILs that some of these guys did. Obviously, the ones that don't make it below over 150%, obviously they have to, they don't have to pay. They go on scholarship. But I'm talking about these. Mine was more focused on these astronomical deals these kids are getting. Masterpiece Sons has $1 million NIL deal. Why do you have a scholarship? That can go to somebody else. That could be for that other kid that's on the squad that doesn't have a scholarship because you can pay.
Yeah.
You can physically pay, not your parents. You can pay.
So,
you know what I mean?
So there's that kind of give and take or that delineation, right? Well, maybe if it's a certain dollar amount where I guess I would say as well, or just a certain, I like how you put it there, 150% over the cost of tuition, board, and all of that. Yeah, there should be some threshold. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. Right there, where man, you hook up somebody else. Tony's saying they should because it is cold life, teaching time. You're going to have to pay something sooner after you go out of college, bills, etc. Babies. He said alimony too. Lord have mercy. Keep it real, TD. Keep it real. That's my dog, boy.
No, but I do believe, like I said, 150% over. Like I said, if the person is getting the common NIL where it's not making that much money, it's making them a couple $1,000s. That's you don't have to pay. That's money in your pocket. But we got to really evaluate these deals that are really going off the roofs for some of these college kids and saying, hey, that's fine. We can't control it, the NIL deal that way. But you know what? We're not going to give you a free educational ride as well. You got to have to pay something. Pay something that back now that you got this deal, because that's going to help the next person come up that doesn't have that deal. That 13th man on the basketball court that is just a walk on. Now we can provide him a scholarship to be here on field because you can actually afford to play. Yeah. That softball girl that we want to get, we can give her a scholarship off of that money instead of having to be allowed to there for her to be able to come on campus. I think it's just more the give back mentality that I'm thinking of to be able to have. And like I said, it has to be that threshold. It has to be 150% over what it costs to do all those things.
Yeah, that
and I think that's
good looking out type of thing.
People don't think that's fair. I mean, I'm sorry, but I think that's more than fair for them to be able to give back because, actually, even though they're paying, it's peanuts compared to what they're making. True. But also the school is providing that platform for them to be able to get that money. You're going to Jackson State with Prime Time, getting that $1 million because Prime Time is providing a platform for you to be able to do that to that young man that has that $1 million NIL deal from them. Why can't he pay $28,000 to go to Jackson State? He has $1 million deal on the table.
Yeah.
Now maybe that could be a part of their NIL deal that they pay their school tuition. I don't know. but they need to figure out some kind of way where that NIL deal can help them pay for that, and they can take that scholarship and give it to somebody else. Yep. I truly believe that because it just helps more than that.
Put some structure around this money that's coming instead of just a big wad going into your savings account. I want to read Kier's statement though. He says the money they make should just be on top of that. Kids wouldn't be in a position to get that money if not for scholarship, but scholarships are on an annual basis, so they don't have to re-scholarship them the following year and make them pay tuition if they want to continue and earn this NIL money. So I wanted to put that. I wanted to at least say that.
Oh, that makes sense too. Yeah. You know, if you do that, that makes sense. If you say, hey, you got this NIL money, we're going to discontinue scholarship. Now you got to pay. Yeah. It's kind of the same concept. What I'm saying. Mm-hmm. But I believe at some point you kind of got to reach back and give a little bit back instead of doing that. And also on the flip side, it's a tax write-off for them, right? It could be a tax write-off instead of giving it back as a donation. They can figure some kind of way out to make sure they give that money back to somebody in the school to be able to provide a scholarship for somebody else instead of themselves when they have the ability to pay. You know what I mean? It's just that's the way it is. I feel that should be one of the structures around the NIL deals to kind of form something, because right now it's just a free for all.
Yep, it's just, and we'll talk about it probably next week. But there's a lot of big names talking about how it's just a free for all in NIL. You got Dabo, and you got.
Oh, we're gonna talk about that Nick Saban, Jimbo Fisher.
All right, and you got some controversy right there with the big boys that run a lot of this stuff. All right, let's the NIL situation, the topic which I suggest you talk about. Kier, we want you on next week to be part of that discussion, sir. If you don't have them, if you lost the keys to the front door, Montell will send them back to you.
Absolutely.
I know you go work out at. Did y'all know you go early in the morning? So 6:30 at night on a Tuesday, you can come and come back in here and have this conversation. Let's go ahead and close with this last one, which is a decent story. We've talked about this before. Shouts out to finally getting your money. Right, to persevere, to what we're gonna call it, right? We finally the Women's United States Women's National Team Player Association has finally been recognized to get equal pay as the men.
But wait, you know what's crazy though? And right. I agree. I'm 1,000% in agreement.
Yeah.
But they bring more fans than the males do, right?
Brother, I watch the ladies more than I watch the guys because they win.
Exactly.
They win.
So let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
How come it's not reversed? How come the men don't make less than the women at this particular point?
Ooh.
Because we always base it on fans.
See, there you go. Don't.
Hey man, let's be real. They always say the WNBA because they don't draw. Right?
The women have won the World Cup. The fellas have not.
Yeah. So why are the women in soccer, who's the main draw, make more money than the men?
Okay, brother. You know, if I knew that, we'd have the lotto numbers, and I'd split it with you as well, right? If we knew that answer, but
yeah,
that's true. That's one of them old Arsenio Hall things that make you go right? Just dated ourselves with that one.
I'm just curious about that one because that was on because they're always the defense is the draw, right? The men draw more than the women. They always say that the men draw more than the women because of these certain situations. Okay, and I get it to a certain, because if you're doing business-wise, your business model, I get it.
Yeah.
But when the women draw more than the men,
right,
then why aren't the women getting paid more than the men in this particular instance? Because they do draw more than the men. They draw more TV ratings. They draw more of a crowd. They draw more everything than the men's soccer team does.
It's just like we've talked, and you said specifically about even the WNBA, and I saw the comment there. It's more of a fundamental game as well, right?
Yes, absolutely.
It's actually a more pure game, women's soccer, women's basketball, a lot of times than watching the guys, because they play for the purity of playing the sport as opposed
even
to worrying
softball.
about anything. Man, softball
don't
is
forget
dope. I'm watching softball right now. Softball is dope, brother.
Softball is great. I mean, if anybody's watching the collegiate softball tournament, softball is very fundamentally with the baseball fundamentals. Very involved in it as far as the way they pitch, the way they want to walk people. Baseball usually gets out of it because it's a duel between the pitcher and the batter, and they kind of who can win that duel It's going to be the person that's there. Baseball, softball, they calling all kinds of things to do things to make it happen and win. Now,
yeah, let me see some of y'all fellas throw that underhand slider curve slow ball.
And we got to talk about that next week too, about that young lady that walked off from the softball tournament. That was odd. I never seen that before in my life.
Okay. All right. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So we got our three, because we're gonna just do 3 stories from now on, because else we'll be online for 4 hours, and especially when we get into the conversation. So closing that out, shouts out to the ladies for finally getting their just due, getting their equal pay. As part of the agreement, U.S. Soccer will share a portion of its broadcast, partner, and sponsorship revenue, with a 50-50 split of that share divided equally between the women and the men. So
there you go. Get that money. Go get that paper, girl.
Get that money. Yeah. This look like there may be a game 5. The Dallas is over the Golden State Warriors, 88-65. I know you don't like that, and I know I made my prediction maybe a little too early, but I'm gonna stick with it. I don't think Dallas can win 4 games.
You know they can't win 4 games. You can't think they can't win 4 games.
All right, we done.
But you know what? With everything going on, it's okay for that. I mean, I'm not saying they're giving the game.
You gonna let them win? You gonna let them have one? You gonna?
I mean, come on, man. You play somebody 4 times in a game, you're gonna get one. You shouldn't be able to get one. 1 or 2, to be honest with you. If I'm playing you checkers 4 or 5 times in a row, I should be able to get one. You know what I mean? No matter regardless of the situation.
You're gonna win one.
So, good for Dallas, man. I hope if they get one, cool for them. But as far as getting a series, that's not happening. Yeah. We're definitely going to the ship.
Listen to them. Okay, all right, Curry. You and your mouth guard. Okay, I don't know. I'm not a. We'll see. I'm a Luka dude. I don't know. Oh, Luka just walk with some swag. I love just him.
You can have all the swag you want.
Luka need to get in shape. I'm just gonna put it straight. Luka got the swag, and he can drop 40.
He need to hit that workout.
Luka need to get in shape, man.
He need to be on that cure workout for sure. He need to get in the morning to get that workout.
Yeah, he need to work. I think I'm gonna go hit it tonight myself. I got some things on my mind, so we're gonna do this. Look, shouts out to everyone. Appreciate y'all for riding with us tonight. We was all over the place talking about some things that mattered at the top, and we're not apologetic for that. Wish other folks would do it as well. And again, reach out to people, talk to folks you haven't talked to in a while, have that conversation, check in on folks. And again, if you got people that are 18, 2nd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade, this and that, just holler at them. Just give them,
absolutely.
Do that FaceTime, do a little, I don't know, Skype. I don't know what it is that you do, but do what you do. Take us home, brother. Take us home.
Yeah, man. Just like you said, man. Say your prayers and shout out. Just give a shout out to somebody, man, and then tell them you love them. And that's the way we got to end the show, man. Just say your prayers and tell somebody you love them. Make the day better.
Hey, more action, less hashtags.
Let's go.